The diplomatic shuttle Orion's Grace descended through the lavender skies of Virelia. Captain Elena Ruiz adjusted her jacket, glancing out at the strange, floating forests and glowing rivers below. Virelia was beautiful, yes, but it was a closed world, secretive and proud. Earth's alliance with them was still new and fragile. She was here on a temporary mission, just 10 days, to coordinate aid and supply routes after a series of asteroid storms damaged their orbital rings. When she first met Kale, it wasn't dramatic. He was assigned as her cultural liaison, a translator of sorts. He stood at the back of the room, quiet and observant, his crystalline skin catching the sunlight in 1,000 soft reflections. His voice was low and smooth. "You are the human representative?" "I am," she replied, straightening her posture. "Captain Elena Ruiz, Earth Peace Corps." He tilted his head. "Then I will assist you. I am Kale of House Ervin." There was nothing romantic about that moment. Just curiosity. But as the days passed, something began to bloom between them. Not love, not yet, just attention. Eye contact that lingered. Questions that dug deeper. He asked about human war, about pain, about why humans laughed when they were nervous. He listened to her music and was especially fascinated by piano. "Why does it make me feel?" He paused, searching for a word. "Open. Vulnerable." Elena smiled. "That's the point. Music is feeling turned into sound." Kale stared at her for a long moment. "That is powerful." Act 2, The Pull of Two Worlds. By day, they worked together, planning routes, overseeing supply ships, translating technical language. But by night, they talked. Walked under Virelia's triple moons. Drank from glowing fruit and shared tales of childhood, of loss, of dreams. Kale confessed he had always felt disconnected from his own kind. The Aetheri prided themselves on emotional restraint. But Kale was different. He had always been curious. About the stars beyond their system, about other species, about feeling itself. "You ask too many questions," his father had told him once. Now, Kale asked Elena the most important one of all. "Why do I feel closer to you than to my own people?" She didn't answer. She only looked at him. And in that silence, something passed between them. One night, after a long conversation about Earth and its oceans, Kale took her hand, a shocking, intimate act for an Aetheri. "I read that humans hold hands to express affection," he said. "But I want to do it because I need to know you're real." She tightened her grip. "I'm real. And so are you." Act 3, The Choice. But paradise is never without cost. The Virelian High Council had been watching Kale. They saw him drift too close to the human. Saw his thoughts changing. His loyalties shifting. "Elena," Kale said one morning, his voice shaking, "they've summoned me. They say I must cut contact with you, or be stripped of my title and exiled." Her heart froze. "You be banished?" "They call it emotional contamination." His eyes shimmered, not with light this time, but with something dangerously close to grief. "They don't want me to feel. But I already do." She turned to him. "You don't have to do anything, Kale. I won't let you destroy your life for me." He looked at her with raw intensity. "You already are my life." The next day, Kale made his decision. He stood before the High Council and declared, "I will not return. I choose her." Shock rippled through his people. No Aetheri had ever chosen exile. To leave the planet was considered spiritual death. But Kale walked out of the temple with his head high, and returned to Elena. "I don't know your world," he said. "I don't know your customs. But I know you. And that's enough." She kissed him for the first time beneath the moons, as thousands of firelights flickered above. Act 4, Earthbound. Earth wasn't easy for Kale. Gravity was heavier. Sounds were sharper. Emotions were louder. He struggled to adjust. He cried, actually cried, when he tasted chocolate cake. He spent hours watching the rain hit the windows. He tried dancing, and it was terrible, but Elena laughed and loved him for it. He built a new life. Learned human languages. Got a job with the Earth Diplomatic Academy, teaching alien linguistics. People stared at him, some with awe, some with suspicion, but he never regretted his choice. "Do you ever miss your world?" Elena asked him once. He paused. "I miss the sky. But not the silence. Not the emptiness. Here. I am full." Act 5, Home is not a place. Years later, an envoy from Virelia arrived unexpectedly. Tensions had cooled. They wanted Kale to return, to be an ambassador. To represent both his people and humanity. It was tempting. A way back into the culture he'd lost. But Kale declined. "I've already chosen my place," he said. They offered him land, power, honor. He took Elena's hand and replied, "I chose love over tradition. Over duty. Over stars themselves. There is no throne in the galaxy that could make me give her up." Final scene, the garden under the moon. In their garden, beneath Earth's single, pale moon, Kale planted the first Virelian tree ever grown on another world. Its roots glowed faintly. As they sat beneath its branches, he leaned close to Elena. "In my language," he said, "the word virile means light of origin. But now, when I think of home, I think of your eyes." She smiled. "And what does Kale mean?" He kissed her forehead. "It means the one who chose love."